Hello Aquarius, welcome to your weekly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Right. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. Right. Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you, and that is an 8 of discs. So that's going to be some useful energy, very productive energy. Now, if there's anything that you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments, okay? Finishing up our Dove and Serpent spread here, we've got a lot of kind of a mixed bag of energy. We're going to do our mystery card, our bonus card, our confirmation card. And this is going to hopefully connect everything together at the end, give us the confirmation that we're looking for. We're using the Rider-Waite-Smith deck for that confirmation card today. So we've got some court cards, court cards, court cards. We've got major, major. We've got earth, water, fire, fire. A little bit of air. The little bit of air that we have is, I think, what we've kind of have to deal with this week. Okay, but first let's start with this 8 of discs. You're a very practical person. You have a very strong attention to detail. Right? I don't think you really miss anything. I think you're very perceptive. I feel like you take your time with things. You go slow. You really like to think it out. You like to cross your T's, dot your I's. You put the little curly Q on your G's or whatever. And you've always been this way, right? You've always been very attentive. Very meticulous, I think maybe is the word. There are no details that escape you. But what I think might be happening right now in this particular situation is that we're so focused on these little details that we may be missing the bigger picture of what's going on. Okay? We could be trying to, we could be kind of smothering this plant, right? This is, if we're trying to grow this, we're trying to build this and raise it to fruition, right? Whatever it is. There's such thing as too much attention. Maybe we're watering it too much every few seconds. Well, maybe a little more water. Maybe we're giving it too much sunlight. Maybe we put too much plant food in the soil, right? Too much miracle grow. Organic miracle grow. And in theory, it seems like, well, that's good for a plant, right? Water, sunlight, soil, plant food. But there's such thing as a little bit too much. We're being a little bit too meticulous. We're giving it a little bit too much attention. Sometimes we just got to stand back, appreciate it for what it is, and let it do its thing. Let it grow, right? Because otherwise, we run the risk of completely destroying it and ruining it. Overwatering it, overexposing it to the sunlight, giving it too much of that organic plant food. And that could have really the opposite effect that we're looking for. You know what I mean? And I think what's going on this week is kind of a similar deal. We've got this air energy in the past. I think this is a younger air sign person, someone who's a little bit younger than you, maybe not by much. Right, but I feel a more immature energy than yours. Or this is how it's being perceived, right? You view this person as being less adult than you are, right? About being younger than you are. Maybe just in their energy, maybe not literally in an age thing, but their energy feels a little bit more immature than yours, okay? And I think that we are trying to pay too much attention to the details of this relationship. I think that there is some underlying issues. There are some underlying maybe betrayals, some heartbreak that you've experienced in the past that has now got you a little bit hyper-focused on the details of this relationship, right? Because the Three of Swords here is underneath everything. This is what's going on beneath the surface. I think it's a lot of the unconscious memories, unconscious experience, the unconscious energy from past negative experiences, past traumas, heartbreaks, deceptions, that sort of thing, right? Those kinds of negative experiences. And I think that they are in subtle ways affecting your current situation with this air person. I think that it is the Three of Swords is leading you to be a little bit too hyper-focused, a little bit too attentive, maybe a little bit too smothering, a little bit too focused on the details, trying to micromanage almost, right? We should be letting this relationship grow and blossom and bear fruit in its own time, organically. But I feel like we're trying to force it. I feel like we're splitting hairs, right? We're getting right down to the roots of it and trying to hurry things along, or trying to just add a little bit more water, a little bit more of the organic plant food. And what we're really doing, I think, is it's a slow kind of trickle of a lot of this negative energy from your unconscious, okay? That it's slowly just kind of seeping out into this current relationship. And what I think is going to happen if this continues is, I think this is more the outcome. If things continue, I feel like they're going to be like this Seven of Cups. This is a plant that has gotten too much sunlight, too much water, too much plant food. It's become a bit of a monster, honestly, right? It's become a little bit toxic. It's not really fun to look at. It's not going to have pretty flowers. It's not going to bear fruit, right? I think this is the result of taking what should be a beautiful plant, a beautiful relationship, and it's kind of becoming that, okay? So what we got to do is we've got to break free, Tower energy. We've got to break free from the hold that this Three of Swords has on us. This is keeping us anchored in these unconscious tendencies and expressions of these unconscious things. So we need to break free from that Tower moment. We need to realize that we're doing this and take a step back. What we're really going for is a nice, healthy, balanced relationship. This is a mature, respectful situation that is looking toward the future. This is the Queen of Pentacles here. We're hoping to build something here. We want this relationship to grow organically, to blossom, and to bear fruit. We need to quit sabotaging it, right? We need to be aware of this kind of hyperfixation that we have on these little details, making a lot out of these little details that ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, probably don't add up to a whole lot, right? And if they do, well, then maybe this isn't the right relationship for you. That brings us over to the path of the Serpent and this Emperor energy. This is someone who is in control of their faculties, in control of their behavior, their moods, their expressions. So this is you realizing that we need a Tower moment. We need to break free from the yoke of this Three of Swords to realize our behavior and how we are perhaps influencing the organic growth of this relationship, and we need to be in control of ourselves. The Emperor is also the one that's going to make the decision. Is this something where there are too many of these little details that bother you? Maybe that means this isn't the right relationship for you. So there's that decision, that perception, that discernment needs to be there. Because the cards aren't saying, hey, look, you just need to stop nitpicking and stop splitting hairs and stop focusing and stop getting hyper-fixated on all the details. Just let it be. Well, if there's really something going on that crosses the line for you or that violates one of your principles or your boundaries, then you just need to do the right thing and perhaps walk away from the situation. Now, the cards aren't telling you what to do. The cards are telling you kind of how and what would happen, the state of things as they are, and perhaps what some of the results of the energy as it is now would be. Okay, Now, more about the air person. We have a Prince of Cups here. This is in the position of your environment. So it could be your relationship with this air sign person. I feel like you don't trust them. I feel like from your point of view, they seem like they say one thing, but they do another. They express one feeling, but they're feeling something different. It's almost an inauthenticity. It's almost a little bit disingenuous. So I feel like there's a lack of trust. There's a feeling like we don't really know them. Everything they say we kind of squint at, and we're just not sure. And obviously I think this bothers you. I think this bothers you because it activates this 3. It activates the, I don't want to keep going over the details, but the 3 of Swords, it activates those unconscious forces, right? So what we really are looking for is strength of will. We're looking for the resolve. This is the strength. This is what is inside the Emperor. Okay, the 9 of Wands is inside that Emperor figure. And the 9 of Wands is a confidence and trust in yourself. It is the knowledge and awareness, the certainty that you are in control of yourself, that you're thinking clearly, that your emotions are fortified, that you are doing the very best of your abilities, right? And that you are going to make the best decision for you and your energy and your health and well-being, even if it's the difficult choice, okay? And it does seem to be a difficult choice. Now, the 9 of Wands is in the position of your fears and worries and concerns, and that's because I think, as most of us do, sometimes we wonder if we're strong enough to make these decisions, or to change, or to not change, but to acquire better control over ourselves, our behaviors, to have that discernment. Do we have the inner fortitude of the Emperor to really do this, to make the decisions, to listen to our gut and listen to our heart and our minds and determine the best course of action? Because what's on the other side of that is the 10 of Wands, okay? This energy is going to find it's the end of its road, okay? And this could either be things stay the same, they continue on the path, there's going to be an end to it in the form of this 7 of Cups, right? Or if we utilize this Tower moment and we wake up to what we're doing, we get control over ourselves, we get this 9 of Wands, we activate that 9 of Wands, then we put an end to our behavior, to our, maybe our hyperfixation, or whatever we want to call this, right? And we put an end to this current flow of energy, right? And then we're able to go from this fire, then we begin the cycle of water. So then we start with this compassion, the emotions. We really, once we get into the water, I'm wondering if this mystery card is going to be some water energy. Because after this fire reaches the end of its path, well, the next element is water. We start with the Ace of Cups. So that then is going to be us having the understanding, the self-reflection, the compassion with ourselves to get to the bottom of what's going on, to process this 3 of Swords, to deal with and integrate all of these energies, and start on the path of healing, that water energy, right? So I want to see what this mystery card is, because I'm curious if this is going to be some water. Now that we've taken the reins with this fire energy, and we've reached the end of that fire path, right? So is this going to be some water? It is indeed the Ace of Cups. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. You go the Ace, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of Wands, and then it starts all over again in the Suit of Cups with the water energy. So once we realize everything that's going on, we have this kind of wake up, this Tower moment. We break free from this kind of the yoke of this 3 of Swords in our behavior, and we We really start to have the discernment. We see this situation for what it is. Now, I'm not saying that you're wrong and the other person here is completely innocent. No, I'm saying that your Three of Swords is influencing how hyperfixated you are on this, how you're splitting hairs and you're not trusting and you're maybe investigating, or you're smothering, or you are too much water, too much miracle grow, right? But you could very well be justified in these questions, these suspicions, these doubts, you know? But we need that Emperor to figure that part out. Because we know we're being driven by this Three of Swords. Well, we need to get on this path of fire so we can really see what's going on and make a appropriate decision. And then we start on the Ace of Cups. We begin the path of healing. Compassion, self-reflection, healing our wounds, restoring, if we can, the plant here, the relationship that we're trying to grow and blossom, and we want it to bear fruit. To see if we can kind of rectify the situation with the relationship, this 8 and the 7 that we have at the beginning right here in the middle. So it could be that some of this water will be used to kind of heal the relationship, okay? But primarily ourselves, self-reflection, self-healing, self-awareness, right? Compassion and love for ourselves. And I think that's a very important message, Aquarius. Now, we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, please click on the link that's right here. And then you can have access to all of the readings, all of the extended readings too. This was your weekly reading on Dove and Serpent Tarot. Thank you so much for letting me read for you.